So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, especially good old Maurice, we are ready for the Alliance Live Show number 77. And we already have a dislike to start the show, so you know it's going to be a good one. Woo-hoo! Woo! Yay. You know it's going to be a good one when somebody dislikes the show in the first 30 seconds. But I have a lot of cool stuff to discuss. We're joined, as usual, by my co-host and colleague, good old Maurice. How you doing, bud?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We've got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we have the event this week. We also have some special guests and some regulars. We have TMoney G here from the Galaxy's Edge live show and Operation Metaverse, also with good old Maurice as well on their channel. How you doing, T?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Of course, as always, and quite the regular now as well, and somebody who's a member of the Alliance and the Alliance Alpha with me, and also part of the in-depth podcast with Nukin on his channel. We have Avinash. How you doing, Abby?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Excellent. So, first and foremost, we want to talk a little bit about C-3PO, of course, and the event just as you know is upon us right now, actually. And I want to see how you guys did. So, how did everybody fare? I mean, Maurice, did you get C-3PO? And I mean, how did you do? Was it hard? I mean, did you have a lot of difficulty getting them?
I think it probably took 40 plus tries. We did it on Twitch last night, just over and over and over again. I did it all gear 11 Ewoks. I went in with the bare minimum. I went in with the bare minimum. I did have to put most of the Omegas on. I got through it without putting any Zetas on Chirpo or Wicket, so I'm kind of grateful for that. But yeah, I got them, gearing them up now. I think you and I are both stuck in the same place, that stun gun on gear 8. So we just got to wait for the challenges, you know. So.
We are, and I just had the challenges open up for me a few minutes ago, so I am literally 12 away from getting him to the next gear level, which would be gear 9. So I'm gonna do that, and we'll get him going. Let me see if I can get that other. Now, I mean, I used all my Omegas on this challenge to get these guys done, and then I used the whatever Omegas I had left on the Zeta for the first Zeta for C-3PO. How are you guys doing on gear and Zetas right now to level him up?
Doing very well, actually. I think I've got my C-3PO to gear 10, and I do have all the Omegas and Zetas on one of my accounts so far.
Now, Abby, you actually got C-3PO like 4 times already, right? I mean, you got him on a couple accounts?
I've 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got 4, and I've got 4 more to go.
Okay, and did you have a tough time getting them, or was it easy for you on those accounts?
It's definitely difficult depending upon what I had geared up at the time. Of course, the lower GP ones are going to have a more difficult time because I didn't have the Ewoks quite geared up enough, or Zeted or Omega'd, so that's being quite challenging at the moment.
Okay. How about you, T? How you faring with the event so far?
I do have my C-3PO. It went pretty smoothly. I do have some regrets because I think I could have done it with lower gear, and good old Maurice actually did it without any Zetas. So I was a little bit jealous when that happened. I was like, oh. So I am kind of committed to my bears now to take them all the way up. I have the Wicket and the Chirpa Zeta. Have done me well in Territory Wars, but the teams have been kind of easy. They're going to have to be geared in order to be very dependable. As a counter, my C-3PO is now at gear not very good. I can't remember, maybe gear A7, 8. I'm stuck on like a MK5 something. It's a little sad. So my gear has been very drained to do the Ewoks. I overgeared them. But it's okay. It's okay. Everything happens for a reason. I'll just have awesome Ewoks is all.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I look at it too. I mean, yeah, I put a I think I put. I think I didn't need to put that Zeta on. I put it on. I put one on Sherpa, which I think I kind of needed to do because otherwise I wouldn't have gone. Because I don't have Log Ray, so I mean I kind of needed that Sherpa lead. But I also put one on Wicket, and I don't know. I mean I wasn't sure whether I needed to do that one or not. But at the end of the day, I mean, like I told you guys before the stream, I kind of feel like I'm going to use the Ewoks. I think I'm going to use them for Territory Wars. I think I'm going to use them for Grand Arena. At least on offense to try to win some battles against some lesser opponents. So I feel like even though the Zetas may not be the most ideal Zetas to plug on a team, I do feel like I'm going to get some value out of them ultimately. I mean, the heal from the Zeta for Wicket also was pretty helpful towards the end. I did it on the live stream at like 3:30 a.m. on Wednesday night, and it took me like an hour and a half to get them. I definitely had to do like at least 20 plus attempts. Then I just got some good RNG and I got them, and it worked out pretty well. I was glad I was able to do it on the stream because I thought I was totally gonna have to like go now and back to the lab and start working on my Log Ray and maybe come back to it in a couple of days, but I was able to get it done. So everybody here got their C-3PO. Okay, I just got them to Gear 9. Now the Gear 9 to Gear 10 is going to be annoying, right? I mean, what do we need here? Let's see. Another stun gun. An MK7 Nubian security scanner. Okay, that's not so bad. HoloLens, a med pack, and then just another straight up Carbonti. So he needs 2 more Carbontis to get to Gear 10. Oh, jeez. Carbonti. Who needed that? Was it Kenobi that needed a ton of Carbontis?
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't take quite that many, but he does take 7 sets. 350 Carbontis, I think.
There was somebody that just recently needed a whole bunch of Carbontis. And I used to have like over 1,000, and like I'm like almost out now.
Jolie took a pretty healthy amount, I think. Maybe Jolie and, the combination of maybe Chewbacca and, maybe some of those bounty hunters. If you did Bosk recently, Bosk takes a bunch.
You can never have enough Carbontis in this game.
Nope.
Yes, it's impossible to have too many.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I just remember, like, for newer players, like, you just get so many of these MK3 Carbontis. You're just, like, throwing them on every character, and the next thing you know, you don't have any for the rest of time. It's just they're just gone. So, if you're a new player, save your Carbontis.
Always save your Carbontis. So, basically, I mean, I got them right now. So I have them to Gear 8, or Gear 9, and, I was kind of contemplating. I ended up putting a Zeta on his Oh My Goodness, which gives you inflict confuse twice on target enemy for 3 turns. Listen, I did that to the advice of the streamers that night, the first night, so I don't know if I made the right choice there, but what do you think would be the priority Zeta for him? Do you think it's Oh My Goodness or Wait For Me?
Well, I think if it depends on where you're using it. If I haven't tried him with the Ewoks, but if he does work well with the Ewoks, you really won't need that R2-D2 Zeta, the one that basically gives the evasion to him and R2-D2. You won't really need that as much. I think they're both good. And I think at the end of the day, when everything settles down, you're probably going to have him with R2-D2 somewhere in the game. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like you can't go wrong with both, but at the same time, I feel like if you're going to do one, I think that Oh My Goodness one is probably more important than the other one.
I agree.
Yeah, because, I mean, even if he gives himself an extra stack of translation, that gives him, max health, which he really doesn't need because he's going to be stealth, a lot of the time. And then also it gives him crit damage, and he doesn't do any damage. So, I mean, there's two stacks on him is kind of not very helpful. The third one is, to reduce the cooldowns, but You know, so giving him one stack at the beginning of the match isn't going to make or break you. So
I'm gonna do some C-3PO here. So I want to put together a composition here for a team. Now I don't have my Chewie, so we're gonna have to make something work here without Chewie. But what do you think here? Do you think let me first of all get rid of the Jedi. And do I go CLS lead here? Do I roll with the Ewoks? Do you think I go with a combination of? Do you think I go Rex lead?
you could try. I haven't tried too much with Rex lead. I do know he helps pretty much all the teams. I found him to be the most useful, really enhancing the resistance team. CLS team, he's very good. On all Rebel team, all your Rebels are going to expose on their basic attacks, and you know that CLS lead is a countering leadership. So, you know, there's been some people that have swapped out Bastila for C-3PO on their Revan teams, as we see here.
Can you can you be the Traya team with him and Ray Jedi training?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so let's try that out first. Okay, I'm gonna put in.
You gotta have it pretty fast. You gotta have pretty. I mean, it's gonna be tough to just go in there and wing it. Like you really got to dump some speed onto the team. Just try it out and see. I mean, it's Ray. What is it, TMoney?
It depends which way you're going, but you can go. I don't know if I would try something different first, maybe, because that one you have to have like a really tanky nest. So you take all the speed off of her and put all protection mods on her, protection arrow, and then you have to have BB-8 and R2 like stinking fast in order to get the stealth off and put the stealth onto nest. So yeah. You just have to like my BB. I do it, and my BB-8's like 280 something, and I can only beat a Revan that's like 306.
I'm talking about being a Traya.
Beating a Traya. Oh yeah. I would just put all the droids in Traya.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. You could do Resistance Trooper and Han Solo. With those three, you got those characters. You got Resistance Trooper, don't you?
Gear 11, yeah.
However, yeah.
Yep, that should work.
Because when you're facing Traya, because Han Solo is a rebel. Oh, well, that would give you 6 characters, though, wouldn't it? So never mind.
So I can't.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I just realized.
So what do you think I roll with here? Do you think who do I take out?
Versus Traya, you might be able to get away with like Resistance Trooper and Han Solo. Resistance Trooper. Somebody said Holdo, C-3PO, and Holdo. That's an option.
Go Ray lead, Resistance Trooper, R2 C-3PO. Missing.
Throw in Trooper.
Should I use
Trooper or Han Solo?
Should I use Poe?
Poe's interesting. I don't know. I've always had a Ray team and a Finn Poe team. I don't think I've ever tried Poe on a Ray team. I think it now though. I think I might have to because that Finn, that Finn Resistance Trooper, C-3PO and Han and Chewbacca team. That team is disgusting. That team is silly. Oh man, what a steamroll team that is. That's awesome.
So let's try something like that. So you're saying,
yeah, try it out.
I don't have Chewie, but can I use somebody else besides him?
Gear is your Chewie.
Gear 4, or Gear 5?
Yeah, Gear 4 is a little low.
Yeah,
You couldn't use him at Gear 9 though.
Try it out with this Ray and Trooper team.
Okay, fine. I'll just use Ray and Trooper, see what happens.
If it sucks, and try something different. I don't know. I haven't done too much. I'm actually using you as a guinea pig here tonight. I haven't really got to use them much.
All right, so no tank. Just roll no tank and just use BB-8, C-3PO, and R2-D2 kind of. All right, let's give it a shot. Worst case scenario is I just get totally wiped out. Okay.
You got Baze. You could use Baze. You could do Han Solo and Baze maybe instead of Chewbacca. It's weird. It's weird. C-3PO has now merged the Resistance and Rebel factions, so there's like 50 characters you can choose from, just like plug and play. With
Yeah,
C-3PO.
it'd be really interesting.
Because the Resistance faction, they thrive. I mean, basically, it's an expose debuff mechanic that they all work on, and then now the Rebels expose other basic attacks. Han double taps. A lot of these Rebels counter. They got CLS lead. They're just all sorts of plug and play value in Resistance and Rebels now. A lot of people used to run that Zeta Barris, GK, the GK Barris teams, and a lot of people were, you always had to use Nihilus or some huge damage dealer because the team just had no damage whatsoever.
Oh my goodness! Oh, things were actually going okay until that happened. Oh.
I guess I bought.
Oh, that was brutal. Oh. Oh, yeah, this is not going well now. I had a chance, and I was about to take out Nihilus, and then, Treya just eliminated my...
Yeah, I see it now, the 1-2 fracture isolate combo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there it goes.
All right, so lesson learned. That's okay. That's okay, I got wiped out. But we'll come back at that again with a different squad here in a few minutes when the clock resets. Okay, so we can throw... Let's see here. Let's try that squad you were talking about. So let's try with Finn lead and Poe. So Finn, Poe, C-3PO, Han Solo, and Chewie, you were saying?
Yeah, Finn, Poe, or not Finn, no, it's Finn, R2, C3, no, it's, excuse me, Finn, Resistance Trooper, C-3PO, CLS, and Chewbacca. No, wait, timeout. Start over. Finn, Resistance Trooper, C-3PO, Han Solo, and Chewbacca. Sorry.
No Poe.
Felipe.
No Poe. Okay.
No Poe. Felipe here has suggested CLS, Han Solo, Ezra, R2, and C-3PO.
R2 and C-3PO?
That's a completely different team. Let me see. Is Ezra considered a Galactic Republic character? Does he have that tag? If he does, he's double dipping with expose on basic and defensive penetration. That's nasty.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's
just got the Phoenix tag, doesn't he? Yeah.
Jedi, Rebel, Phoenix attack.
Yeah.
Ah, darn.
Well, Ben is.
Old Ben's got that defensive penetration now.
Yep.
He might crit for 3K.
Old Ben. Let me see here. But let me see. Okay, so maybe if I put Resistance Trooper on this squad. I mean, this is GW, so it doesn't matter, you know. We're gonna destroy whatever team we face anyway. But I mean, he's actually, even at Gear 9, he's tanky enough, I think, to get the job done.
I think so.
It's really tanky, yeah.
Because of his stealth and everything, too. I mean, he's kind of...
Well, under this Finn lead, he goes so often. Like, he really needs no speed whatsoever. Especially at Gear 9, you can just put tons and tons of health protection and, like, defense on him, potency. Like, I mean, look at it. This on the screen. Whoop! Toasty! It just... Yeah. It's just a wrecking ball. Those of you that have Zeta Finn need to be very, very excited. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool.
I can't wait to try them.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff between the Rebels and the Resistance. I mean, if you get C-3PO, if you can't beat it, you do get him 7. Even if you get him 5 and 6 star, he really just opens up a lot of your roster. You can really, you can almost create a new team out of like leftover Rebels and Resistance characters. A lot of people in the chat are suggesting Holdo for teams. Holdo is an option. You do get the crit damage on Resistance Trooper, so I mean, if you guys do mod Resistance Trooper, you want to mod him like you do for P1 of the Sith Raid. Just offense arrow, crit damage, offense cross. Just go super heavy on offense and probably potency and crit chance. You don't really need too much survivability on a Finn team if you have it done right, because you're never going to get hit. So you just stack him, and he just becomes a powerhouse with that extra crit damage. It's pretty nice for translation. It'd be interesting to see how he operates on defense. I'm not sure. I haven't faced any in Arena yet, or any game mode. So it'd be interesting to see how the computer plays it. If it plays it smart or just kind of like a dud.
Well, I could see the synergy with the Finn team working really well. I'm kind of anxious to try this in Arena now. Let's see how it does. So what do you... I mean, if you don't have Chewie, you think the ideal team could be Finn, Poe, Resistance Trooper, C-3PO, and then like insert other character? Or do you think it's something where that team's not... I mean, I don't know how that team's going to hold up against a Traya team. But if really, I mean, a Finn team can hold up really well against a Traya team, just with Finn, Poe, and Resistance Trooper if you have a lot of speed, right?
I'm sorry, man. My mic was on mute. What did you ask me? I'm sorry.
I said Finn, Poe, Resistance Trooper team. You think that would do well with C-3PO and, let's say, Han, or C-3PO and CLS, or C-3PO and, let's say another character in Arena?
I think you'd almost... I don't know. I think R2-D2 might be better than Poe, because he can AOE expose too with his with his AOE burn, because he's a rebel. Well, I guess that's a special attack, not a basic. Never mind.
Right.
Now, for those of you looking to squeak out some extra points in your Grand Arena, C-3PO will totally allow you to run some like 4-man combos to get some extra points, 4 extra points.
This next Grand Arena will be very interesting.
Yeah. Yes. If you guys don't have it, you better get used to facing some C-3PO. Maybe get your Arena shard chats if you're in one, and maybe, have a few of you, kind of work together and go back and forth, because it will be a character that you want to practice against. In the middle of I don't know if it's going to affect the meta. We'll see. I think it gives people a lot of climbing options, but if I see this team on defense, I'm not going to be very intimidated by it.
Right.
It's working pretty well with Revan, though.
Yeah.
I give some people some options against Revan, because I've been hearing just so much about with people that don't have Revan going up against a Revan team, and then even people with Revan going up against a Revan team, especially in Grand Arena.
Thomas Willingham, my GP is only 3.829. But I'll tell you, I also don't have like pretty much. That's you know how people like stack up their mods and level up their characters to like jack up their GP. I haven't ever done that. So I mean, I have like lots of characters that have no mods on them. So I mean, if I had modded every character, which I could do, and you know, geared up every character as far as I could, and you know, if I had touched ships at all in the last couple of months, I mean, I'd probably be over 4 million, to be honest with you. I just have like, I mean, if you see here on my ships, for example, I mean, I haven't touched my Slave 1 here. I have 429, you know, reinforcement ability mats. And I have, you know, 400 ship Omegas. So I haven't like touched ships. I mean, I've been kind of like just holding back because I mean, I'm waiting for my Houndstooth to get the 7 stars, and then I'll kind of make a little push for ships. I also kind of feel like there's going to be a ship shift here coming soon, and I don't know if that's going to be in the form of, let's say, the new Millennium Falcon, or in the form of another capital ship. I do kind of have a feeling that we're going to be getting another capital ship soon. I think it's been way too long, and we'll definitely do a capital ship sometime here in the near future. So whenever that happens, I want to be prepared for that. So I've kind of been saving my materials on ships to kind of go with the new meta whenever that comes around. I'm sure Abby's not thrilled about that, but that's what I've decided to do.
I have this urge to like touch the screen and try to update your ships.
Yeah, I know.
I see green, you know, crosses on characters. I see all that red circles that need upgrading. I have this urge to take care of that for you.
Oh no, I went into the battle with the same team and I didn't even change it. Oh man, what a mistake. I wasn't even thinking. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna have a tough time here, guys. But I will still try my best. Let's see what we can do here.
Mind Tricks Thrawn.
All right, yeah, a couple of you guys are firing off some questions. If you do have questions, just type them in the chat and I will gather them up. We do a Q&A at the end of the show, so get them in. You guys hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. Yeah.
Okay, I've had some internet issues last couple of weeks. Yeah, I get a little nervous. Sorry. Well, you mentioned you thinking, you know, you want to be ready for the next meta, and there is a shift in the meta right now. But the point you bring up is a good one. That if you know this new meta that we're all seeing slowly develop with the Mace Windows and the Houndstooth combos, all the little Houndstooth trios you see now, it is a new meta. It's no longer the Geonosian meta. But you know, this meta could be very temporary. I mean, if there is a new fleet commander that does come out, and there is a new capital ship, that's going to bring different synergies and ships that are currently, you know, short term, the best ships might not even work. You know, so that is something to consider. I mean, if you're winning with an older ship team and you're still getting your places, you might want to be a little. You might want to take caution, I guess, in leveling any ships on a whim, just because, you know, because it could change if we do get another fleet commander. I don't think if they put 2 ships on defense in Grand Arena, you know, they can't. It's hard to do that without a 5th option for fleet commander. You know, people would go nuts. I would be one of them if I had, you know, if I had 2 offensive fleet commanders to go against 2 defensive fleets. That's tough. You got to have all the ships, all the ships pimped out.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, this team's done. But Yeah, I do feel like there is a ship meta change coming here soon, and I think some of the ships that are out there now will be a part of it. But I do also feel like there is a need to be prepared to kind of shift on a dime here with that, because I do think, like I said, that there is a new capital ship coming. I don't know if it's going to be in the form of the Malevolence, maybe with General Grievous at some point. I don't know if it's going to be, you know, some other separatist ship. Maybe it could be a completely. I mean, maybe it could be a completely different ship. I don't ever think we'll see the Supremacy on there, like the you know, what's it called? Supreme Leader Snoke ship. It's too big to be a capital ship. It's like it's almost like a
5 kilometers wide or something.
yeah, it would take up the whole screen. So I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think it could be a capital ship, but I think that we'll see something else. Maybe eventually we'll get like a dreadnought or something like that. You know, who knows? Maybe when we get closer to, you know, episode 9. But there is another capital ship coming. They're not just going to roll with you know, the 4 capital ships that they have right now forever. And I imagine it's not going to be another. It's not going to be another Star Destroyer. It's going to be like, you know, another faction. So it's probably not going to be Empire. It'll be, you know, either Separatists or Scoundrels or you know, and again, I don't even know what kind of scoundrel ship they could possibly come up with. But I mean, maybe it's going to be Old Republic. You know, it could be something about, you know, that. You know, maybe. You know, maybe eventually we get the Ebon Hawk. You know, I mean, who knows? We get a lot of different things.
I think that's very realistic. That's. I think I could see that definitely coming. With seeing we have pretty much the entire cast of characters in the game now, with the exception of, you know, a couple key ones clearly, but
Right.
that ship is definitely feasible.
Would that kind of necessitate us having Sith ships as well?
Possibly, yeah.
Oh, now see that brings up a whole new question. You know, everyone's kind of like, oh, the bounty hunter ships, we're gonna need them for the Millennium Falcon. Well, maybe. What about these Sith ships that are just completely flew in under the radar? Like they keep releasing all these newer ships, like right underneath. You know, like Chewbacca comes out, but so does, you know, a Sith ship that no one really cares about because Chewbacca's here. Kind of like we get Jango Fett. Oh, the Xanadu
They
blood.
literally did that on the same day. It was
Yeah.
just
Like they keep
Quiet
releasing
little-
these ships, yeah, like just under the radar. Nobody really takes notice of them, and then like, oh, we need this ship that I didn't even really know was in the game. 7-star now, so you know that's because there are enough Sith ships. Oh boy, Sith ships. There are enough Sith ships to. I challenge everybody watching to try to say that 10 times fast.
I was going to just tell you that.
Yeah, Sith ships. You know, there's plenty of them in the game now to do something. But I mean, what is there, 4? I think there's 4 Sith, 4 ships.
There is the
for
well,
Because Vader's technically a Sith. Vader and Scimitar.
Does Vader's ship have like a Sith synergy? That it does, right? So
I just looked. Yeah.
yeah, Vader, Maul, Sith Assassin, and I always think of him as Sith chucking sabers. I can never remember his name. Marauder.
Well, I mean, definitely could have a Sith capital ship at some point. That's a possibility.
We desperately need a capital ship. We really do.
I don't have fun with ships right now, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I like ships overall as a thing. I don't know. It's like it's one of those things where like the maybe the Millennium Falcon will, you know, boost my spirits about it a little bit and whatever. But I mean, to be honest, I'm really kind of disappointed with the lack of content for ships, to be honest with you. And it's not that they haven't tried to do certain things. Like I know that they updated ships so that, you know, we have this ships table now, and then they, you know, updated they revamped the way Ship Arena works. And I'm not saying it's for lack of effort. I'm just saying that I think that there is still something missing, and maybe it's because there's no, like, And I don't want to add like more stuff to the game. I'm not saying the game doesn't have enough. I mean, I'm just saying maybe there's no like ship raid or ship galactic war or ship anything, and it kind of, I don't know, it seems like almost like a it seems like almost a part of the game that you could literally ignore and get away with the exception of the occasional, like, having to get through a battle in TB or having to get through a battle in TW. I mean, it's really pretty. I mean, if you have the main ships that you need, you can kind of just get by and really just ignore. I mean, now I understand that there's also crystals now there, so I mean that kind of adds to some of the prestige and then the want, I guess, or the desire to work on ships. But I just feel like, I kind of wish there was. I kind of wish there was just something else, if that makes any sense. I mean, I feel like the Death Star raid needs to be upon us.
Well, we've been saying that for a long time,
Yeah.
We do, though. We need some motivation to theory craft with these these units other than arena, right? With squads, there's so much more. Like even raid. You look at raid videos, and somebody will put out a raid video, and it'll get like 30, 40, 50, 60,000 hits, whereas one of the regular videos will get 5 to 10, and that's just, people are really into raids. And I think until we have a ships raid, I think it's a great point, Ramon. There won't be a lot of theory crafting that goes on. Territory Wars and Galactic Arena, yes. Not Galactic Arena. Grand Arena. Keep calling it Galactic Arena like an old lady. They've definitely spurred some theory crafting to happen, but a raid is gonna help that. Maybe it doesn't even have to be like a full ship raid. It could just be one. I was really surprised that the Sith raid didn't have one element of ships, one of the what are they called? Tiers. Not the tiers, but the P1, P2, P3, P4.
That's cute. Yeah, so, no, I agree. I feel like, we've been asking for like a sandbox mode or something for like quite some time, and I don't know, or a raid or something, and I don't know. I feel like there's still something missing for ships, and that's just the way I feel about it. But
yeah, there's just no motivation to be doing much. We've been building up a lot of the ships, but we're so limited in the capital ships. You're just kind of stuck with too good and too dark, and there's no really anything. And then every ship that you put underneath it is just kind of more RNG based rather than anything special.
Yeah, and I feel like they put all the new ships in really ridiculous spots. Like, I mean, like, I have all the original ships 7-star, all leveled up, and all the capital ships leveled up 7-star. But I mean, these newer ships here, like Anakin's. I mean, like whenever Anakin's ship drops, it's probably gonna be like in the ships table, like some place where it's just going to be ridiculous. Like, it's going to take you like 3 years to get Anakin's ship to 7 stars. And
right.
I really need to focus more on it. I just feel like there's no. I mean, I've been farming, the Lando's Millennium Falcon. That's what I'm working on right now. I can actually level this up here right now.
Oh, I so want to touch the screen and activate those ships you haven't activated yet.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, if you're not going to use them, don't activate them. Just keep them there. I mean,
it's an OCD thing. It's an OCD thing.
It's going to raise your GP.
You know what it is? It's an old habit from back in the day when I used to. Because when I used to buy chromium packs, if you had the character unlocked already, you couldn't get the 80 shards if you got the full unlock of the character.
Yeah.
So I would leave the characters unlocked until I had enough shards to 7-star them. Because if I pulled another chromium pack, I still had a chance to get the full 80 shards. If you had the character unlocked already, the most you could get was 35. So it was like, I like when I got Rey, like the original Rey. I'm talking about Scavenger Rey. out of Chromium, I already had enough shards to unlock her, for like a month, but I just didn't want to unlock her until I got the full unlock out of Chromium. And then one day I just pulled like a 350 pack, and I got a full unlock array, 80 shards, and then that's when it automatically unlocks her for you, and then it's great. You know what I'm saying? But this way you're actually hurting yourself back. If you buy Chromiums and you unlock the character, you're actually hurting your chances. But you're hurting yourself. You're not going to get the full shard amount. I think they fixed that since then, actually, though. But
yeah, I understand that they did that. Yeah, they changed it.
Yeah, they exchanged the exchange rate, I guess, if you will. Yeah, because it used to be a ripoff. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
All right, so let's go do this arena battle, and then we'll do the meta report. Let me try now a different squad. Let me go in there with Finn. Let me go in there with Poe. Where's my Poe? There he is. And then, who should my 5th be? Should I go with Han?
Let's see what we got here.
So,
always have a hard time finding hangouts. There we go.
Finn lead, Poe, Han, C-3PO, and Resistance Trooper.
Well, you just tried this, right? It didn't work too well. Maybe make a sub.
I didn't try this. I used this for Galactic War.
Oh, okay.
I could also throw Visas in there instead of Han, against the Sith.
If you're going against a Sith team, that might not be terrible, but you're not going to get any benefit from C-3PO with it, really. I mean, you'll get the 10% boosts.
I could also put R2 in there instead of Han. But then I think we're lacking a little bit on damage, right?
Yeah, but the whole reason you're using Han on this team is because he shoots first on his basic attack, and he should expose on it, triggering the turn meter for Resistance Trooper, right? The Resistance Trooper goes in and pops the expose, and just everybody gets a turn.
Okay.
So
all right, let's
that's the theory behind it. I don't know if it's going to work that way. I hope so. But like, you should get an expose because this is a basic attack with C-3PO. So,
all right. So let me. Who should I stun? Grand Admiral Thrawn, because he's the only stun that actually will count. All right. So let's go Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Okay. See, now they get Trooper. You pop that expose, and now Poe, C-3PO, and Finn will all get 35% turn meter.
Right. So they're all going to go first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is how you can run no tank, because you should get the train rolling now, because Han and C-3PO are both rebels as well, and even though C-3PO doesn't.
So should I use Resistance Trooper special or just as basic to get more exposed?
Basic, and try to re-expose it so you keep the train rolling. And then once Poe goes, then you can start getting that translation. Now, yeah.
Put translation on Resistance Trooper, hey?
Yeah, because he's got the expose on his basic for sure.
So put
either Han. Put it on Han, actually. Put it on Han.
So put it on.
Because Han.
Yeah, because he gets 2. He'll double tap.
Yeah. You might be able to kill Thrawn with this. Okay. See, because you landed that exposed and immediately popped it, it triggered all the turn meter for the rest of your team. This team will take a little bit of fine-tuning and practice, but this team is very, very good. This team is good. I mean, you're...
Oh.
See, look, you got exposed on everybody now, so you just manage it.
Maybe leave him?
Yeah, leave him.
Yeah, leave Thrawn. I wouldn't hit Nihilus until his turn meter gets up with Han Solo, so you can remove some of the turn meter. But you should have this one pretty much in the bag.
Should I use his special here? Yeah, probably, right?
Yeah, use it. Yeah, because it will call everybody to assist.
Put it on Resistance Trooper?
Yeah. Yeah, now you got everybody assisting. Yeah, now you can use a special. It'll keep building this transition. Now, use a special because he'll get crit damage now. Yeah, there you go. And now you'll have that. If he gets one more stack of translation, he'll be able to refresh his cooldown. You'll be able just to drop the special every time, just dropping the hammer.
Buff immunity on Nihilus, or sorry, Scion.
Yeah, put it on Scion for sure. Hopefully, get a little turn meter removal.
Right.
I'd hit Nihilus, try to remove some of his turn meter.
Nihilus
with your basic.
Nihilus already went, and
excuse me, Scion, yeah. Yeah, so you got rid of that turn meter now. You should be in decent shape. You might not win with all 5 guys standing, but you should be able to finish this one off. It doesn't matter. They all have translation, yeah. Now you got double buff immunity on Scion.
Go after Nihilus. This is
probably want to pick up the pace here a little bit, buddy. You got a minute left.
yeah. What do you know? Finn's back in the meta.
Yes, he
There he
is.
goes.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? This is the first time you tried this team. You know, so clearly, I mean, if you put, practice a few times and maybe mod it a little bit differently, this would be a very, very high percentage win. Even with you assisting so many, I mean, you're never going to get maximum points. Say again?
I just said 3PO's now going every time because their cooldowns are being refreshed every time. And now I just hit auto for Treya once you kill Scion.
This might not be the best Grand Arena setup as you can versus a Treya team, as you can see, because you're attacking so many times at a turn. So that you're not gonna get too many points. But this is
dang, wow.
Get him! There we go.
Got it. Okay. All right. Wow, that really worked.
Yeah.
that was actually pretty cool.
Hey.
Oh, we got a donation from GK3. Thank you very much, my friend. I don't know if that... Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. This
awesome.
This is exciting. This is exciting for a lot of players. A lot of people have Zeta Finn for P4 and the tank raid back in the day, all sorts of reasons. For those of us that really, the TV first came out, Zeta Finn was, the go-to team for, the P4, P5, P6 when the territory battles first came out. A lot of people have them.
I mean, they basically have no health left at the end of the battle, but still, that was a lot of fun. It was cool. I mean, they basically didn't go. I mean, once the train starts rolling, I mean, it's like, I can see how that works. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Again,
that's just against a Treya team. Imagine you were fighting a Bosk team or a First Order team or some team like that. You would have completely destroyed them. They would never would have taken a turn.
Absolutely.
So this is
absolutely. We're gonna do the meta report now, and again, thank you to GK3 for the donation. If you have any requests after the meta report, we will. We'll be taking requests for any teams if you want to see, and I'll try something out for you in Arena. Also, we'll be doing the top 5 after this, and then we'll get into the questions and answers. So if you guys do have any questions you'd like answered on the stream or any topics you'd like to discuss, start typing those into the chat now, and Maurice will compile them. And then when we get into the final segment of the stream, we'll do the Q&A. Okay, so I'm looking at the meta report here. This is going to be kind of quick, guys, because again, we've kind of not seen a huge shift in the meta. The only real difference here is a couple. Couple more Revens, couple more Treyas, because to be honest with you, they're just kind of dominating the pie. We're seeing some CLS, increase because of what's going on. Finn increase because of what's going on with C-3PO. So you can see Finn on the board there, making his way into the top 10 leaders at rank 1. I know you're excited about that, Maurice. 22 people out there using Finn at rank 1 right now, today.
It's great. Yeah, I just looked at my arena and there's another one. I'm using him right now, and there's somebody else's too.
Again, I mean, this is first
what was it? Gear 10?
Yeah. You know, people are doing this already without optimizing their teams yet. You know, this is
Maurice,
experimentation.
Maurice, either you just got a promotion to heaven, or I think you need to mute your hangouts.
It was a promotion.
Okay. You know, you sounded very
Heavenly.
very heavenly. You know, very authoritative, very non-human. Okay, so, but yeah, I mean, Finn is definitely seeing. I mean, Thrawn's still there at number 10, but obviously Finn kind of jumped in there and took over, I believe, Asajj Ventress's spot, who's not on the top 10 anymore. So that's kind of what we're going to be seeing. I think we'll see an increase there. I think Finn will move up a little bit. He may actually surpass, some of these characters here. I don't know if he'll surpass Traya, but I think he'll start to take a portion of the pie, because the more people see that Finn is actually able to take out the meta, I don't know about Revan, but definitely at least Traya teams, it's probably something that people will start thinking about doing. But that's our top 10 leaders at rank 1. This is our top 10 squad members at rank 1. So still Grandmaster Yoda, Revan, Jolie, Bindo, the top 3 or top 5 actually are still intact. Really all the way through to the top 10. I mean, everything is still exactly the same. Just some more Bastila Shan Fallens, because people are using her more frequently as a counter to the Revan teams. But really overall, not much of a shift in the top 10 squad members at rank 1. Is this pretty much what you guys are seeing in the top 50 of your arena?
It's all Jedi. It's all Jedi mind with
not me. We've got an even mix of Traya and Revan. Yeah. All the keen players are climbing back up now that there's now that Badstilla or Hot Topic Bastila is behind Traya and helping them.
Yeah.
Hot Topic Bastila, I like that.
I wish that Gothzilla, that was the one that caught on, but Badstilla seems like it's holding the most.
Yeah, looks like it. But that's our top 10 squad members at rank 1. Now we're going to move on to our top 5. And our top 5 this week is going to be top 5 leaders for C-3PO. Figured it's a pretty relevant topic. And we're going to take a look at some of the best options to run C-3PO in, because again, he does have a lot of tags. He does have the Galactic Republic tag. He's a droid. He's a rebel. He's a resistance character, and he's just an all-around swell guy. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at who he synergizes well with. At number 5, who do we have here, Maurice?
We got Hera. This is probably a surprise to many, but the Phoenix lack damage. They have lots of survivability already, but they lack damage. But with C-3PO, they are getting a crit damage boost, right, from it. And then also they're all rebels, so they're going to be exposing on their basic attack. Every single Phoenix member you use with C-3PO now will expose on their basic attack. And that includes a lot of assisting mechanics, all sorts of stuff going on. So you get exposed on every character. Remember that Zeb will stun a character with his basic attack if they're exposed. So you have a consistent, reliable stun in the team now. You have lots of damage with the extra crit damage and the expose. It really beefs up the Phoenix team quite nice. Which Phoenix member you replace with him, that's kind of up to you. I mean, there's lots of options, but it adds. Is this the best team to put him in? Probably not, but if you have a decked out Phoenix team and you really want to set an impressive Phoenix defense in Grand Arena or something, that is an option for him. So this is a nice makeshift kind of addition there.
Yeah, no, I can see what you're saying and where you're going with this. Hera is not that bad, especially since they added the Zetas to this faction. I mean, they're actually a lot better of a team, and somebody you can have some trouble with if you come across a nice wall of well-geared Phoenix teams in TW. Again, it's more about, I guess, not being prepared or under, I guess kind of taking the team for granted, or not going in with a good enough team. This is not going to probably beat any meta teams in Arena, but again, if you're somebody that doesn't necessarily have a home for C-3PO and you're thinking about some alternative places to use him because you already have your other team set, this is a place to kind of think about it. This is an option, and again, probably not the best option because that's why it's number 5 on the list of top 5 leaders for C-3PO. But it's definitely an option to think about, and probably worth mentioning for sure. Now,
I'm shocked. I think this is wow. Phoenix could be useful. It my mind that he could go with a Phoenix squad. Oh my goodness. He could actually make Phoenix able to take down a team.
Something. This is some team.
Several, probably. Probably not Revan, but maybe even Traya, they have tons of assists, tons of countering. That's wow.
If somebody, I have not tested it. I don't imagine it worked, but if Sabine exposed every time, she quadruple tapped, that would be. I don't know if it works. I'm gonna be trying it out.
I think somebody was asking about that today, and
Scavenger Ray doesn't do it on her special when she crits. She doesn't give an expose every time.
Okay, yeah, that would probably be a similar mechanic. That would be insane. You're talking potentially one-shotting a character with Sabine now if she's quadruple tapping. That's
true. What do you think, Abby?
It'd be interesting to see who you would want to replace on the Phoenix team. It would be fun to kind of test it out to find out what combination will work. When that first popped up, I went, "Oh my God, really? The Phoenix? Oh!" And then I forgot that they're rebels because I always just think of them as a Phoenix team, and they're kind of lame as it is. But oh my gosh, yeah, with all the synergy that they have together, and you stick C-3PO on there, holy crap! I think that would be pretty awesome.
Well, hopefully you could still keep Ezra for one of your Jedi teams, because I guess the exposes would slowly make up the lack of damage. Maybe you could maybe keep him in your Bastila team, or your if you use a Revan. It's
true, but still you would still have the 5 having Sabine on that team too. So you still have to figure out who to replace on that.
People are asking if Leia would triple expose also.
Leia would definitely triple expose.
Ooh. All right, brush the dust off Princess Leia.
Because it's considered she can't do them all at the same time. She's just I would dollars to donuts. Yeah,
I would say yeah. All right, that's
test right now.
That's our number 5 leader for C-3PO in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Moving along to our number 4, we have General Kenobi. So, he is a Galactic Republic leader, and to be honest with you, when I saw this, I was kind of intrigued by it, but to be honest with you, this was Maurice's choice, so I'm going to leave it up to him to kind of explain his thoughts behind this one.
Well, this is kind of similar, but without the expose. A lot of the problem with the team was damage with your GK Barris team. There's, you had to use Nihilus, but with the defensive penetration now that the Galactic Republic allies get, that will generate damage, not as much as expose, but it could potentially generate some extra damage for your team. Lots of just little synergies there with GK Barris. Enhances the team a little bit. Lots of debuffs that the team lacked. C-3PO provides with the Confuse. It will essentially, because there's nobody on the GK Barris team that really used to provide buff immunity, and C-3PO does both. So when you do get a chance to utilize the defensive penetration, you can use it and focus it on a key enemy instead of just having to beat on a tank with Barris and GK for 5 minutes until you time out. So it does add some a little oomph to GK leads, and Clones are also Galactic Republic too, so you could include a hybrid Jedi, clone combo now with a little extra pop. So clones are interesting.
Yeah, that's my thought process behind it too. Is that the clones would be, if not anything, at least severely enhanced by having C-3PO on the team. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think this makes the clones a viable option anywhere really. But a lot of people are saying that they're able to get through the HAAT with just C-3PO and with one team. Have you seen now anything about that?
So say that one more time. I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit.
You could solo the hat raid with C-3PO.
Oh yeah.
Oh easily. Yeah. There's a couple of teams that could do that.
To the extent where the majority of the player base thinks it's probably going to be nerfed. It's like so easy. I think Skeltrex actually put out a video where he didn't have any mods on his characters.
Think of the timing, right? Think of the timing. I think it's way too much for us to be doing the Rancor and the tank raid and the Sith raid. We can't get another raid. We get a raid a year, right? So it makes sense if we can now auto the tank raid and have the next raid coming in March?
I mean, we've been able to auto the Rancor raid for a long time now. What about the tank raid though? How long do you think it takes to do that on auto?
About 30 minutes.
Listen, anybody who's willing to do the 30 minutes to get that done, I think you deserve it. You know what I'm saying?
Because now I have to figure out a time in one of my guilds, because we used to just have it Zerg and just be able to post as soon as, it doesn't matter. But now I'm going to have to put a time limit on being able to post solos now that everybody wants to do that.
Yeah. But that's our number 4 leader for C-3PO in the game. Unless anybody else has any thoughts on this one with General Kenobi, any team compositions that you think would work well with this? Like, do you think it's GK lead, Barriss, C-3PO? Do you think you go here with, let's say, maybe Anakin and then Fives? Or, who else do you run here?
Fives might be good. It depends on what you're going to go for, though. In a sense, it would work really well on defense because it could be such a timeout team.
Right. I think so too. It actually does make sense. Yeah, I mean, we'd have to play around a little bit, but that's just an idea to throw out there. Moving along though now to our number 3 leader for C-3PO in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Who do we have here, Maurice?
I believe number 3 is CLS, correct?
Yes,
CLS. Now, as we saw several times tonight, the Rebels now expose on their basic attacks with the unique maxed out of C-3PO. So, and CLS actually is a countering lead. So when you hit these characters, they will counter, they will expose you, and just deal massive amounts of damage. And the Rebels already inflict serious amounts of damage. And you're talking about Han Solo. He double taps, has 2 chances of expose, and then you have Chewbacca, who's constantly assisting both the guarded allies, and then he's countering as well, just massive amounts of exposes, comparable to the amount of exposes we just saw in that Zeta Finn example he just ran. So lots of exposes can really decimate a team. And plus, when you include C-3PO with R2-D2, both those characters are going to get the evasion bonus from the unique they share with one another, and then R2-D2 is going to bolster the offense of all your Rebels and their survivability a little bit even more. So, and the Rebels do get extra potency with the C-3PO unique as well. They do get up to, I believe it's 10%, then plus an additional 30% per stack of translation. So that's 40% potency on a faction that generates a lot of their debuffs on their basic attacks. So you're going to have a high chance of landing those debuffs plus an exposed mechanic, and then all the damage on top. It's going to be a really nasty team once people really learn how to perfect it. and how to mod it properly. So Rebels just refuse to die. They're not going anywhere for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of like a resurgence of the Rebel faction a little bit, to be honest with you. I mean, even though they've really never really gone anywhere permanently, CLS has kind of been pushed to the wayside in favor of Traya and Revan over the past, I'd say, almost a year now. So at least the better part of the year anyway. So going into the new year, we're going to see sort of a shift there, and more of a lot of CLS teams being viable. I mean, obviously being able to now not only stun with his basic, he can also expose the target, which just makes CLS a much more dangerous weapon. I mean, he's got pretty much everything in his kit already, and now he's got the added bonuses from C-3PO and possibly R2-D2 as well if you put them both on the same team. So I mean, obviously you have to kind of take a look at some of the different components there that could add value. Maybe if Leia does triple tap and then expose 3 times, that might be an option behind the CLS with C-3PO. Have we tested that out yet? Is that working?
What, CLS and C?
My Leia is just dying. So they're not fast enough to go like with the fin lead. Han's basic gives those exposes, and then Resistance Trooper can add to the exposes, and their turn meter train starts to go, so they get on top of the Sith. But I'll have to remod to actually have some speed on my CLS team, or I tried Akbar too, and it just wasn't enough to get ahead of Nihilus and Scion, so their cooldowns were being reduced, and it was just going to pot before it even got started. So my Rebels are poorly modded.
Gotcha. Okay. But overall, I mean, CLS is just a fantastic character, and he continues to be a fantastic leader in the game, and that will continue with C-3PO, obviously adding some benefits to him being a Rebel leader. What are your thoughts, Avi? What are your thoughts, T?
Ooh, wow. I haven't had a chance to do a whole lot, but I'm pretty excited to try it with CLS and come up with some really nice combinations. I'm glad you mentioned Leia because I was thinking about her, but now I don't think I will.
No, it's just my team is like literally it's not well modded. I just lean on Chewie. I lean on Chewie for that team, and I use them on offense usually in territory wars just against bounty hunters or whoever. So I don't take down Traya with them usually.
Right.
But Maurice does. So maybe he's the better person to try that out for us.
Well,
yeah, my Leia is pretty well modded in that, so maybe I will try it and see what happens.
Well, because remember, if you run Leia with R2-D2 and R2-D2 goes first, it will stealth Leia. So when she uses her stealth move, she's already stealth, so she'll get 100% turn meter plus that crit damage buff because she's already stealth. So she'll be coming out of the gate, hot. Boy, she's gonna be hitting hard first turn. So
that's true. That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So Leia, we could see majority of the player base has Princess Leia, and they put the game to newer players. They basically just give her away now, like with all the quests and stuff. You get lots of shards for Leia just by completing the beginner's quest, if you will. So that's a character a lot of people have that might get some use out of, because right now she is kind of just pretty much TW Grand Arena depth. Maybe some people run her, in P2 of the Sith raid still, but she really doesn't serve too much of a purpose. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep.
But that's our number 3 leader for C-3PO and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Moving along to our number 2 leader for C-3PO, we have Rey Jedi Training. So Rey adding a ton of value as a resistance leader, also being a very tanky character, can kind of, add some significant bonuses to C-3PO. Again, C-3PO seems to work best with resistance overall. I mean, he, as we saw earlier, obviously can work really well with Finn. He's got a lot of synergies with the resistance faction, working with R2 also being a resistance character, BB-8. You can really put together some interesting teams here and, put together, some teams that really give a lot of bonuses to some really awesome characters. I mean, obviously, Rey already has the ability to call and assist. Now, if you add, let's say, that Zeta to BB-8, and then he gets called out of turn to assist by C-3PO, for example, that could be an interesting dynamic there too, because that'll just be another time that multiple Resistance characters get called in to assist, and we could see tons of bonuses there. I think overall, I think that basically Rey adds another dimension to the C-3PO lineups by basically being a tankier leader that also has the ability to reduce turn meter. She can now expose on her base. Is it only rebels that expose on their basic?
Yeah, the resistance benefit for the resistance get crit damage. Rebels get to expose. No, excuse me. Resistance. Oh boy, now I got it all confused. There's so many.
It's only rebels get to expose, I think, and then resistance get crit damage.
The resistance gets the resistance. They inflict offense down on the target on their special moves.
Okay.
But that's going to add another debuff or two. So every time you use Rey's assist move, or every time you even use her mind tricks, where you dispel, those are both special moves. So they'll have the ability to land offense down as well as some of the other debuffs now too. I think that's how it should work. So that's their perk is probably the worst of the three, but
whenever they inflict offense down on the target enemy for 2 turns, and then they resistance allies have plus 10% crit damage on with the unique as well.
Yes,
so in C3PO
the transition, yeah, but this is out of these top 5, this is probably gonna be your most reliable Revan killer option. Because C-3PO is a droid, so you pair them with BB, like you have Rey, so you automatically have BB-8, and then you have BB-8's 8% turn meter from his unique for each droid. There's 3 droids, so all 3 of your droids are gonna have 24% turn meter to start the battle. So it is feasible to get your entire team going first, and then it's much like the Maul meta. You'll start, you'll start with 4 character stealth, and then whatever character, the 5th character there, a lot of people run the slow nest, maybe Thrawn, whatever the case may be. You have a 5th kind of exposed character there that you kind of get to choose who takes the mark, because Revan can't mark a stealth character, so you just leave him one option to mark, then your whole team just goes nuts. Lots of exposes, and under Rey lead, if you do happen to land exposed on the Jedi, they will get their turn meter removed. Everybody except Jolie. When you do use a special ability under that Rey lead. So it's a way to kind of keep it in control, and you kind of take control of the match. You can beat Revan with it. So I look forward to seeing what people come up with in terms of this, in terms of mods and how to do it consistently.
And Rey's still in the meta. I mean, there's a lot of people that are still running Rey Jedi training in their arena teams, that aren't necessarily at the top of the most competitive arenas right now, but there are people beating Revan every day with Rey right now. So
that's how I climb every day.
So this just enhances her benefits and just makes that team even better. Any thoughts, Avi or T, on Rey Jedi training as a leader?
I climb with Rey. I climb with Rey every day with droids just for practice, even though I have Revan, and it's fun. It's more fun than fighting with Revan, I think. It's just, I think there's actually more control with the team, so it's I have put C-3PO in at ridiculously low gear, and it definitely did not help me. But we'll see, because once he gets geared, he's so tanky. So you can actually let him be marked, and he'll just take the hit. So it's quite cool. Quite cool to see that and see him because he's got the tag, see him being carried through with turn meter quickly from the exposes. So I'm excited. It's a really neat character. He stealths, but he's really tanky at the same time. I'm excited to get him geared. I just got him to gear number 2. It's at 8. So slowly but surely.
Yeah, we're all, and we don't have the test account, so this is really, we're all kind of working with these characters at low gear levels right now for the first time. So to be honest with you, probably by the next live show, we'll have a little bit of a better picture as to which of these teams or leaders is probably the best one to roll with. But again, I'm kind of seeing some benefits in a lot of different areas, and Ray Jedi Training is definitely one of them. What are your thoughts, Abby?
I definitely think so. I think JTR is going to be one of the standouts at this time anyway, just from taking a look at the kit and how everything interacts with each other. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Mine is, I was just looking at mine on my big account, and it's 7-star Gear 11. And he's got just 2 pieces to be able to get to Gear 12.
Nice.
On that. So I'm excited about that. I can't say the same on any of my others. I think they're like Gear 7 or something, but this one I'm just totally excited about because this is the one the account that I really concentrate on. I'm just stoked to like try him with like L3 and BB-8 and R2 and some of the others with JTR and see what I can do with it and what I can beat up.
People are saying Lobot lead. Lobot lead is the way to go right now.
Someday he will truly be meta.
I'm not. Listen, this could be the time. But
last week.
Go ahead.
Last week we talked about Gamorrean Guard, because I do love my bacon. So maybe this week is Lobot. Maybe next week is Jedi Knight Guardian or something.
Urza would definitely love that. Yes, if Lobot worked, Urzatron would absolutely be running Lobot in arena with C-3PO every day.
He's going to have to wear his Lobot headset for forever after that.
He will. I love that thing. He made that. He made that himself, actually.
Really?
He didn't buy it. Yeah, he made that, which is. I was pretty impressed to hear. That means he had it like 3D printed and he made it. So that's pretty sick.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
But moving along now to our number 1 leader for C-3PO, and I think you guys are going to figure this one out. It's pretty simple. We used him just a few minutes ago. Finn, the character that we still don't know his last name. So maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe he's Lando's cousin. We don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But Finn lead, obviously, with the exposes and the turn meter bonuses for the Resistance make C-3PO an easy addition to this squad. He obviously can, benefit from all the turn meter bonuses. He can then call and assist, which then adds more exposes with the basics. So, it's really, it's almost like he was made for this team. And it's great. If you have him in there, like we were trying earlier with Resistance Trooper, possibly Poe. A Resistance Trooper, I've already made a video on this. A Resistance Trooper, a Poe, and a Finn lead can beat a Traya just 3-on-5 on its own. So, if you have them modded correctly. But with the addition of C-3PO, possibly R2-D2, maybe Han Solo like I tried before. Again, I don't know what the best combination is now. I believe good old Maurice is working on a team right now that he's trying to put together with Finn lead. Why do you think he's the best here, Maurice?
You just showed it off a few minutes ago. The first time you ever tried that team, no modding, no nothing whatsoever. You just threw in 5 random characters and you came out the winner. Just so much. It all revolves around Resistance Trooper. Especially if you use like Han Solo, it might not work against Revan, but Han Solo shoots first. Han Solo's rebel. Han Solo is going to land the expose, and that's going to trigger Resistance Trooper's turn meter. Resistance Trooper is going to go in and pop that expose, and then every other Resistance ally, including C-3PO, gets to take their turn underneath that Zeta lead. It's just you get the train rolling very, very easily. And like we were talking about before the show, Resistance and Rebels now, it's almost like they've combined the factions. Like you can now just pull and plug and play so many characters from both of those factions together. And C-3PO really allows any player that has him a lot of depth in their roster. Like even characters like Resistance, Pilot, and maybe we mentioned Princess Leia tonight several times. I mean, characters like this that you haven't probably used in a while now have some viability with the inclusion of C-3PO into the game. So Finn's great. This is the first time I think I've ever put Finn in the list where you didn't bust my chops about being a homer. So glad to see you coming around after 2 years. So,
I am fully sold on Finn.
took you 2 years, and rightfully so. I am a bit of a homer, but for this is unbiased number one here.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you this about Finn. Okay, I bought that Force Awakens pack with Finn and Kylo Ren when the Force Awakens first dropped. And after I bought that pack, I was like one of these people that, like, when I bought those bundles, like I bought like the bundle for Barriss and Ahsoka and Asajj Ventress as well, that heroin pack that they had back then. And whenever I bought these bundles, you were getting the character to 4 stars basically. And then you get to, when I made sure that I 7-starred every one of those characters like right away. So Finn was actually somebody that I thought might be a sleeper like a long time ago. Like I remember, this is before he had a Zeta or anything like that. I also didn't, I wasn't as much of a student of the game back then as I grew to be later on. So I figured out, quickly that Finn wasn't going to work. But I was glad to see that when they did put the Zeta on him, that I already had him 7 stars and at a high gear level, because I was, trying to figure out a way to make him work way back when. So, he's definitely a character that has become, fantastic in a lot of areas of the game. I mean, he's kind of an underrated character because of the fact that, again, there's no other character you can use 2 other characters with 3 characters. As you can use this guy as a leader and 2 other characters and defeat, a high-level meta team in Traya. You can defeat a full Traya team with just Finn, Poe, and Resistance Trooper. So, I mean, this guy is absolutely a fantastic character to have for TW because he can help you beat almost any team on the board. And obviously adding, bonuses to this team like C-3PO, things that just add, more components to allow the exposed train to start going are a huge benefit. So, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a believer in the Finn team now. So I'm a homer right with you. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully Finn jumps into the meta a little bit more here. I'm kind of curious to see what the meta report looks like next week. We had 22 Finns this week. Maybe next week we'll have 50. And the week after that, we'll have 100. We'll see how that works.
Grandmaster Broda is in heaven right now. He's having a grand old time.
It's Ramon, your voice has gone up a couple octaves, and you sound just a little bit too excited about this.
I'm excited. Listen, I just went in there. I just went in there with a team like Maurice said. They were just talking about it here in the chat. I have a 1-dot mod on Finn. Look at my Finn. I have a 1-dot mod on Finn, and I just beat an arena team in the top 50 and with a Traya team, a 7-star Traya. So I mean,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I mean, that's cool. I mean, that's a guy I just literally threw in there, didn't remod him. This guy's modded for, I don't even know what he's modded for. I mean, not anything good, I'll tell you that. And, I mean, it's great. So I need to just put a couple more pieces on this guy, and he's gear 12. And, I got a new C-3PO meta team. But it's just, that's cool. That's exciting to see that, a character can get thrown into the game, and he can kind of uplift the ability of characters that you already have in your inventory. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice to see. We do have an honorable mention as always, and this week's honorable mention, what do you guys think it is? Who do you think is the honorable mention leader for C-3PO?
I know because he's been chitty chatting all week about it.
Okay.
Hoping and praying all week about it.
Who is it, Maurice?
CC2224. Cody.
Okay.
Yes. The problem
Cody,
with the
my
clones, well, there's a lot of problems with the clones, but one of the glaring problems is that they only have 4 when you peel Rex off for another team. You now have a 5th member of this team, while he doesn't do any damage, he will provide again the debuffs for this team and the defensive penetration once again. But once and now the clones are extremely squishy. No, they're not. Cody, let me rephrase, is extremely squishy, and he is the facilitator, if you will, of the entire team. And now he's constantly going to be having a 15% protection up buff from C-3PO, and also the regeneration that his leadership does provide. So they're going to be a little bit tougher to kill, especially Fives becomes a real pain in the neck with protection up and protection regeneration. I mean, it will give them, again, the defensive penetration, 40% up to, I believe it is. So they're going to be hitting a little harder than they have in the past. So this is nice. Yeah, just extra crit damage, and then also a cooldown on their special abilities. So, you know, Echo, what a awful character he is, but he does have an extremely powerful AoE ability. It's an AoE dispel, and it does do a lot of damage for an AoE. Now he's going to be able to do that way quicker than he can now. I think it's at least a 5-turn cooldown. It's a really long cooldown on the AoE. Let me look 100% here. Yeah, the grenade has when you put the Omega on a 4-turn cooldown. So if you can spam this grenade every other turn, especially in like a PvE environment, like territory battles, you're just gonna go in there and just wipe the board with Echo, you know, every other phase. So that's gonna be pretty fun.
He actually does do pretty good damage with that bomb.
Yeah.
You know?
So they'll be interesting. Well, I mean, is it going to bring clones back into the meta? Don't get excited, you clone fans. They will not do that. But they were.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the clones were my first faction. They were the first ones that I worked on. They're the first ones that I took up to the top at the time, and it didn't last long. But I'm excited that I'd be able to play with them a little bit more again.
There's a lot of people that would be excited to do that, because I'll tell you, there's a lot of clone fans out there, and we are in the midst of the return of the Clone Wars, right? I mean, so I mean, as far as that goes, I think we're going to see some new characters coming in from the new Clone Wars revitalization, and we may even see some new clones added to the game. So we'll have to wait and see how that rolls, but I do think that they didn't just upgrade their helmets for nothing. I think that we're getting something eventually in the way of either, maybe some Zetas or maybe, some character reworks. But I do think that these clones will eventually see their day in the sun. It may not be today, but C-3PO kind of takes them a step in that direction. So I agree. We'll see. But that is our top 5 leaders, and top 5 for this week. Top 5 leaders for C-3PO and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. If you guys do like that kind of thing, please do like the video. Please do smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Do click on that bell as well for notifications, so you get notified every time we go live. And we're going to go back and do some more gameplay. And as we do that, like always, if you guys have any topics you'd like to discuss or any questions you'd like to have asked on the stream, please do type them into the chat, and we will scoop them up and try to have them discussed here on the show before we wrap it up. But we're going to go ahead and wind down here for the Q&A segment. Do we have anything already lined up, Maurice? Maurice is... I think Maurice is sleeping again.
You not hear me? You not hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
No, you froze for a minute there.
Oh, am I back now?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Nathaniel Morgan asks, how much health and protection does a 1-dot mod give?
Let's find out.
Why on earth do you have a 1-dot mod on anybody?
First of all, it's a gold mod. Okay, let's not get away from that fact. Okay, it's gold. All right.
Wow, we're away from that fact.
Okay,
this is Ramona Zob's strategy to cutting GP.
Honestly, I don't have an explanation for this. I really, I don't. It's 7.5% protection, which is obviously very killer. 3 speed, okay. I must have been looking for something to give a potency set, and this was the best thing I had maybe at the time, because I never used to farm potency mods. I don't think I've remodded Finn in a very, very long time, so I'd have to assume that all these mods are, not the greatest.
Holy moly.
Let's see here. 5 speed, 36% crit damage. That's not bad. Yeah, so I mean, these mods are horrible. So I mean, I would need to remod Finn entirely. But I mean, point being that if you can go into an arena match in your arena and beat a Treya team with a 1 potency set, 7.5% protection mod, 3 speed.
We're not are we justifying this? Is this what we're doing right now?
This is yeah, he's justifying it now, yeah.
This is me
Throw that mod in the garbage.
This is me just saying, okay, you know what? We're gonna replace it now. Okay, right here on the show, we're gonna replace it.
Goodbye. I feel like some sad music should play.
There should be some sad music, but I'm gonna see if there's a. I don't know if I have a potency set.
Copyright strike.
I have. This is the only mod I have. Okay, so I'm gonna lose 3 speed. All right, guys, but we'll get the rest going. So you see, to me, I instead of that protection, I'd rather have the speed. But just to make everyone happy.
Then you go find a new mod that has speed on it.
We're gonna move on to the next question. We've spent entirely too long on this. Okay,
there we go.
This dates back to almost the beginning of the show here now. Thomas Willingham, will the new bounty hunter ships be required for the new Millennium Falcon?
New bounty hunter ships be required for the new Millennium Falcon?
I think so. Yes.
I think so. Yes. Yeah. Now this was another thought that we had here. Maybe it's cargo ships, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really. The Houndstooth now and Lando's Millennium Falcon have been available for way too long for them to make that the chase to get the OT Falcon. I think that they're going to want you to get some ships that are really hard to get in a short period of time, and that definitely seems like it will be the bounty hunters. So that would be these ships here. So if the bounty hunter ship event were to drop tomorrow, I would be in big trouble.
Well, I think the majority, 99.8% of the player base would be. Like, I don't think anybody has all the bounty hunter ships 7-star unless you've just been plucking them out of shipments like a madman or woman.
What do we need? What do we need to get Thrawn? Thrawn's Chimera.
Phoenix ships. Rebel ships.
No, Rebel ships. So it's not going to be Rebel ships.
No.
There's a chance it could be Empire ships. I mean, listen, that would be a freebie, which they've never really done. I mean, they could make it extremely hard and make it make it Empire ships. But
could be, because there's a big. They would get a little bit of. Let's say you had to have like a Zeta on Gar Saxon and both those characters gear 12.
Oh, you're roboting.
Oh, he froze.
I think, though, I mean, to keep with the story, it's just going to be the bounty.
All the
hunters.
Omegas and the reinforcements. Say again.
Sorry, you were roboting.
You froze for a second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, like the Empire ships, while they're all good, some of them are dated, and a lot of people just kind of panic and bailed on like the TIE Reaper when the ships 2.0 came out. A lot of people didn't like it, so a lot of people don't have the Omegas and stuff invested in that ship like they do some of the others. Gauntlet Starfighter might need 2 Gear 12 plus pilots, with a Zeta on Gar Saxon. That would require a little bit of panicking and gearing and stuff. So that's feasible.
There's not that many Empire ships. There's 2 capital ships, but there's only 4 Empire ships. So it's kind of weird, actually, that there's so little Empire ships. You know, it's there's actually, let me see here.
But if we need them, you know, it's not.
There's actually just as many First Order ships as there are Empire ships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's pretty much go scroll through your list. There's pretty much 4 of every ship now. You know, and I don't think that's on accident. You know, like bounty hunter ships. There's 4. We only have, I guess, there's only 1 droid ship, but
three clone troopers. I keep backing out.
There's 4 Sith. You know, how many rebels are there? There's probably 4 resistance ships, right?
There's 1 droid
Or
ship.
3.
There's 3 resistance ships. There's how many separatist ships? The 3. The Geonosians, 3. There's 4 Sith ships, like you said.
Like the separatist faction is interesting because I mean that tag has 0 use in the game, really. So I could definitely see a Grievous ship, fleet commander ship, kind of like you mentioned earlier, because it would make sense and they could utilize that tag. Because there really wasn't much of a synergy for Galactic Republic, you know, for the most part. And now C-3PO is finally starting to capitalize on that a little bit with R2-D2. So
there's actually 4 Jedi ships now.
Yeah, Anakin was the 4th. 3 resist. Yeah, none of the. So some of those Jedi ships aren't the most potent ones in the game.
Anakin's ship is probably the best. I mean, I'd say Ahsoka's ship's actually pretty good too.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking about that ship lately. I've never really amped it up. I think my Ahsoka's gear 10 or so.
I'm liking the Plo Koon ship
Yeah, that's a good
a
one.
lot.
Plo Koon
Yeah, that's a real good one.
ship is actually pretty good, yeah.
You just have to gear Plo Koon, which is the unfortunate part.
But
Yeah,
all
I
the
get
bloody
that.
pilots are like, I've geared all of the ones who are worth gearing, and I'm just resistant to gearing any of the other ones.
I can't help myself. I geared them all.
Geared all of the pilots?
Yeah, pretty much G12 now. Yeah.
So
Wow.
let's say it's the bounty hunters, right? IG-2000 is 6E hard node light side, and the Xanadu blood is, we're gonna activate it here for you guys live on the stream.
That's a good ship, man.
That's an excellent ship.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I made a video about it.
All right, so Nathaniel Morgan asks, does Rebon get top 50 in ships? He will now with his new Xanadu blood.
My new Xanadu blood, I will. And this is AB hard light side. So they're totally farmable both right now. So I mean, you really just need to, you know, dedicate your resources towards this. But I mean, so if you guys are really hard, like if you love ships and you're really itching for the original Millennium Falcon, I would jump on this right away. I'll tell you. Yes, I would say. I mean, not that you're going to be able to get it in time, because I think if they're going to do this, you're probably looking at sometime. Okay, this is typically what CG does. Okay, just to give you guys a heads up. All right, every year they take a hiatus around the end of December, beginning of January. Okay, for about 2-3 weeks. Okay, so I don't foresee us having anything after this. They're not going to do like a C-3PO event and then like Christmas Day do the Millennium Falcon. That's not going to happen. So I would say if we're going to get a Millennium Falcon event, it's probably not going to be until at least the middle of January. So if that's going to be the case, maybe even the end of January, because they'll have to announce the kit. You know, they'll then, you know, there'll be a whole bunch of stuff. So I think if you want to get that ship, you can start really heavily farming these ships right now, especially if you're somebody that already has the Houndstooth at 7 stars. It's just a matter of investing in the Xanadu blood and the IG-2000 every day. And I would do the 25 refresh if you can. for both and just kind of farm that up as fast as possible and see if it's a doable situation. You know, I mean, I think that you're looking at probably maybe a month and a half of time until they drop this. Again, I could be wrong. I mean, the event could, could feasibly drop right in the middle of January sometime, but we're definitely not getting anything, in my opinion, for at least a few weeks. So, again, that's just me going based on trends from the past. I mean, I've been in touch with them in the past, and I've typically heard not a lot coming from the studio after New Year's Day for a couple of weeks. So I don't think you'll be seeing much in the beginning of January. I think it'll probably be more towards the middle or the end, if anything. So you have some time now to prepare, and it maybe even be longer than that. So the bounty hunter ships seem like the most likely at the moment. So I would say that's going to be the hardest grind, because if it is any other faction, the grind will be a lot easier. So I would start working on that. That's my opinion.
All right.
To answer Nathaniel Morgan's question, no. This is my ship arena right now. Rank 498.
Ballin'.
So, and I'm holding strong. I've been ranked 498 now for probably 2 months. Not a single person has beaten me at that level. I think I've hit the ground bottom. Like nobody could possibly knock me. Nobody behind that rank is going to be able to beat my team.
Or there's just no more active players left on the chart after that spot.
Or after rank 498, nobody plays arena anymore. Yeah.
Oh snap!
I mean, I've got 6-star leaders up here, 6-star capital ships in this area. So, I could probably climb pretty quick. We'll do that one day. I'll do like a ship party. Like we'll just do like a ship fiesta, and I'll try to get back to the top 10 in ships. I think I could do it. If I put a couple of ability materials on the right characters, if I sat here and worked on the right components here, I think I could do it.
10-4. Here we go. Jose Garcia. Haven't seen you in a while, man. What's up? The CG not quality check new characters. Do they quality check new characters at the studio?
Yes, absolutely. They always have. But I would say that their quality or their QC now is more intense than it's ever been. And that's because, I think just from lessons learned in the past. Obviously there have been circumstances in the past where characters got through and certain mechanics didn't work correctly, or maybe the kits were not as advanced as we thought, or they, let's say, released a meta character that or a character that they didn't that they thought was going to be able to define the meta for a period of time, and then they ended up not working out the way they expected. So they make adjustments.
All right. We've got the next question coming from Jay Solo, GW off. I guess that means a sir, officer. Any idea when Revan will be coming back? Probably, I don't remember the exact date.
February the 21st.
Say it one more time.
February the 21st is the date that we guessed. We and looked at when Bastila dropped into, to be farmable, etc., when all of those characters dropped, and extrapolated if the ones for Darth Revan or Malak or whoever's coming stayed on that same cadence, that it would be February the 21st. And we just had the first iteration of that, and I guess Candrass and Badstila dropped. Was it Badstila? Who just dropped in the stores?
Yeah. I think it was,
Bastila just did.
Yeah. And those were set to drop on December the 13th by our estimation, and you know what? They dropped on December the 13th. So, yeah.
Okay, well, that's for the dark side, Revan. Is what you're talking about, yeah?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Dark Side Revan.
Yeah.
Light Side Revan would presumably come back, 10 days before, week before or something, if it's required for that one.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact date. It should be about 6 months after that. 4 to 6 months. And then, of course, what she just said, if the same trends continue and we get another Revan, it's kind of slotting in at the end of February, just like she mentioned. So I would be ready. We'd have to go back and look. I don't have it open right now, but just basically whenever Revan came the first time, kind of be ready at the 4-month mark, if not the 6-month mark. So you got plenty of time to get those Old Republic characters up. There's really no excuse, guys. If you really want Revan, you've had a lot of time now to get those characters up. You should be able to do it. It's very free to play for the second round of it. So just stay on course with that. Get them ready to go. The event itself is very, very easy. You don't need gear levels on your characters really whatsoever. I mean, you might be able to get by with Gear 6, Gear 7 characters. So be ready. Don't miss out on Revan a second time.
Absolutely.
Nathaniel Morgan, what is the criteria for a raid team getting nerfed? Before they said it was an infinite loop. C-3PO is ultimate infinite loop. Yes, in some of those videos today, it definitely does show that there is a infinite loop going on. I haven't read any of the Reddit posts or forum posts really myself, but a lot of speculation being passed around that it was said that because it was the tank raid, it's not as top of priority list. I haven't seen any sort of verification or evidence of that, but you guys see, do you think this is going to get nerfed in the tank raid?
I don't think so, because the tank raid has been out for so long that there's so many things that can happen with the tank raid, with all the different meta and even more OP and meta teams that keep coming out. It's not worth nerfing at this point for the hat raid.
I don't really think that CG and EA do much. I mean, I might get laughed at for this, but I don't think they do much unintentionally, and if they do, then they will nerf it. I think that for the tank raid, I think they want us to solo the tank raid. I think it's time. I think that it just follows like think of the Rancor. You had a time where there was, oh wow, one person did it all by themselves, and now there's 3, and now there's 5, and now there's 10, and now all of a sudden everyone can do it. And I think that's just the natural progression that happens in this game, and that's how they lead us along. We cannot have another raid introduced if we're all trying to put 4 teams into the tank raid and spending 20, 30, 40 minutes on it. Like, it's just too much. It's unsustainable. So I think this is, if they don't nerf it, then it's all in the plans.
If they don't nerf this, they need to add a sim button.
That's true, hey? Why not? Why not?
They do with some of the event stuff that we have. Some of the sim buttons. So it's like, woo, yeah. Let's do the Rancor and the hat raid, and then a year down the road they'll have the Sith sim button, and then we can just have some fun with the new stuff coming out.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, yeah, Abner
if
Dude
I win
just
Grand
posted
Arena
here.
enough times, can I sim that too?
Abner Dude posted a quote here. CG Capgas said on Reddit, "No nerf for HAAT. We'll be watching heroic Sith triumphant raid for infinite loops." The second part to his question here was, does this confirm the mythic raids? There was that data mine out that was kind of hinted at there being additional tiers of the raid. Do you guys think we're getting any mythic tier of the raid?
I've always thought that that they should add something a little more to the raids if they are. Instead of just keep adding raid after raid after raid, because it gets to a point where we're going to be on 24 hours a day. So it's either revise what we had, or maybe just sim it and phase it out for the upper people and just start concentrating on some of the new raids coming out that might be more beneficial for us.
Yeah, and Travis Anderson just said arcade raids. That did kind of seem to be what the theme of it was, kind of like a point system kind of thing, is what it kind of looked like. But I think they did the interviews with some of you guys, Ramon. I swear one of you guys asked him in one of the interviews with him if they ever plan on doing that. It was a pretty adamant no that they gave. To make, I mean, this is a while ago, though, so things change.
Honestly, I think it's the most boring thing in the world. I don't want, like, a level T7 Sith raid. Like, no, go make me a new bloody raid. Like, I spend enough money and time on this game. I want a new raid. I don't want another level to the raids. No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do that. You know, maybe they'll add like, maybe they'll add some new rewards to the raids at some point so that you can, you know, gain some more benefit from doing them, because I think one of the main reasons you don't care about the raid anymore is because you have all the benefits from it already. Like, I mean, you know, some of the gear from the original Rancor raid is pretty much obsolete at this point. Like, I'm not obsolete, but you know, you have like I mean, I have so many, typically, I mean, like right now I'm running low on gear because I've been gearing up Ewoks, I'm gearing up C-3PO, but normally, I mean, I have tons of droid callers, I have tons of Nubian security scanners. I mean, I've got tons of, I mean, I can't even tell you how many, what were those things that we needed like crazy when that raid came out? The main
furnaces.
The furnaces. I have so many furnace pieces. I don't need the furnaces at all anymore. So
yeah.
So it's I think they could add some things that maybe add some value to it. You know, now that you have, like, let's say a 7-star Han, and you have a lot of pieces from that raid, it's not really that exciting anymore. I mean, like, you know, like the heroic Sith. I mean, now I have a 7-star Traya, you know, and all that stuff, and it seems like less important. But, you know, the thing is that if they added some more rewards to those raids, it may make people care about where they place in the raid again, which would make it more competitive within the guild again. You know, so just a thought. But I don't know. I mean, a mythic tier of raids where they add like another level besides heroic, like on top of that. I mean, that sounds like, unless they changed it where, like, you know, you're fighting 2 Rancors or something like that, that would be cool. But you know, but no, if it's just another difficulty tier of the original Rancor, that would be, I think that would be boring.
I think for me, what I like most about raids, and maybe I'm contradicting myself here, is that first initial moment where your guild beats the heroic tier, and it's not just kind of, I just feel like this would be just us needing to ramp up damage or have more teams or something like that, and I don't feel that's overly strategic. It's like that unknownness, like, oh, what's the raid going to be like, and do we do it now, and do we fail, and counting teams, and, you know, planning with people, and nobody hits unless you're getting, you know, 4%, and that whole world. So yeah, that's what and then I'll just post 0. Like, I do hit the Sith raid because the gear is so important, but I will post 0. I've started to hit the raids because I need this stuff, but yeah, I've posted 0 a lot raids.
All right, here we go. Next question, DSP. Yesterday, RSG did a charity stream, right? And one of the challenges that they had to raise some money was to lit warrior. Basically, the community got to pick a warrior for Zeta, right? Or a Zeta for warrior. And DSP's question is, who lit warrior Zeta mission? I wanted to initiate. Some very, very generous soul donated a lot of money to Warriors Challenge towards the end there, so he did not have to. I think, who was it? Bodhi Rook was in the lead, I think. Some very generous soul donated a lot of money to mission, and some warrior gets to put a Zeta on mission.
I think it was his guild leader.
I think we all have some thoughts as to who that was, either way, if he did that, I mean, that makes him a good guy anyway. I mean, listen, he donated it for a good cause. So I mean, listen, if he wanted to pay that money to make sure the Zeta went on mission instead of his, that just shows you his dedication to his roster, and I for that I commend the man. So good stuff. But yeah, I mean, it would have been cool to see. Listen, I had the Zeta my Bodhi Rook, and I mean, he's still sitting there. Let's take a look at Bodhi. There he is, the Zeta Bodhi Rook. It's
oh my goodness,
it's sad. Okay, but you know, it had to happen, so it was for a good cause, and you know, maybe one day that Rogue One faction. I'll see it, you know, some love. You know, I don't think so. I think the Rogue One faction, I think this game ends, you know, a couple years from now with the Rogue One faction not being touched again. And we're probably never going to even hear about that movie again. But, that's the way it is. They came out with Zetas, and that's what they'll have forever. They were definitely a very disappointing team, to be honest with you. I always thought that... I mean, I was super hyped about getting Jin and Cassian out of the tournaments and, you know, putting Zetas on them because their kits looked really good. But they've never really been viable meta. Then again, I mean, listen, you know, there could be another character kind of like C-3PO that comes out that makes this team much better. And I mean, you know, I don't think that Maurice thought about it, but there's a chance that maybe C-3PO does enhance the Rogue One team, and we didn't really think about it that well. I don't know.
Well, Jyn Erso was actually the coin flip for honorable mention because you know, there's a lot of exposes then. So you've got Jyn Erso. Oh, you know, we talked about how C-3PO gives the Rebels extra potency, so they're going to be more likely to land these debuffs than under Jyn. There's a chance that the debuffs alone expose, and you got Rebels exposing on their basic. Especially characters like Baze and Chirrut who have countering mechanics, you know. So Baze, even though it's not going to do much damage, he's a pre-taunt. You attack him, he counters with his basic. He exposes. I guess twice now. There's a chance to do it twice because he does have speed down, I think, on his basic, and then also just for C-3PO. So I mean, some of these characters could. I haven't tested it myself, but on paper, it looks like they would expose twice. When they basic attack, which is pretty nasty. That's a lot of damage. So Jyn Erso is definitely an option for some of you guys. A lot of people have her Zeted for that P6 mission in the light side territory battles. So this is a way you could kind of get some use out of her. You know, she's good for territory wars. A lot of people put her on defense by default, but offensively, she regenerates good amounts of protection for your team, so you get some bonus points. So she's definitely an option. She would be honorable mention B for tonight's top 5. Let's see. We got another question here from Nathaniel Morgan. Should I Zeta Princess Zelda? I guess should he put a Zeta on Princess Leia now? I guess he was listening to our talk. No. No.
Did he really say Zelda?
Yeah.
I think you should put a Zeta on Princess Zelda.
Yes.
And you know, it's funny because I love Legend of Zelda, and I'm playing Breath of the Wild right now with my son. So we're like, you know, I'm like, I just got the glider, and I'm going through. I mean, I'm still early in the game, but yes, I would say not to put a Zeta on Princess Leia.
Yeah, don't do that. The only way you would do it is if you're using her under a Jyn lead. Because, you know, she triple taps, and every time she triple taps, she does have a chance to put the crit chance up, and that can regenerate massive amounts of protection under Jyn, and then she would get even more protection herself.
Maybe Jyn lead, Princess Leia, and C-3PO make the best team in the world.
Yeah, somebody else is going to have to find that out. No, that's not going to be me.
Well, listen, we'll find out some interesting stuff, you know, I mean, over the next few weeks, I'm sure. It's still early in the C-3PO game. It literally just came out, so people are still testing things out. You know, it's it's too early to say that something is bad or something is not good or something is the best.
Piano Jonathan now. This is another question about the bounty hunter ships. How hard should one go on the ship nodes? Doing all 8 sims, but not refreshing. So he's doing all 8 sims on them, but he's not refreshing. I don't think refreshing 25, especially on the Houndstooth node, is a terrible idea because you do get Jango Fett out of it now. And there's no guarantee that these 25 crystal refreshes or even the 8 sims themselves, the 8 chances a day, there's no guarantee that that's going to remain the same. They have reverted it back to 5 in the past. So it's not a terrible idea to try to take advantage of that while it's going. What characters on the Xanadu Blood? Oh, Hoth Rebel Scout. That's
garbage stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
I'm refreshing all the nodes except for the Houndstooth because I have my Houndstooth and that's hard for me because I have Jango Fett at like 40 more shards to go. But I think that if it does come in January, I'll probably need to get some of the faction packs. So I don't want Houndstooth to be at 100 and to be in another situation where I'm just getting all these garbage shards. So
right.
My lesson there, but I'm double dipping on Xanadu and the 2000 now.
All right. How your bounty hunter ships looking on a counter 2 there, Abby?
Actually, they're looking pretty good. I got Houndstooth at 7 stars. I've got Xanadu at 7 stars. I got my 2000 is one that I'm working on. But otherwise, well, that's on one account, but the other ones are rather lacking. But I'm not doing any. I'm just. Are you
using them?
Oh yeah, I am. I absolutely love it. One of them, I've kind of got a lot of the ships maxed out, and I've got like the Houndstooth and the Xanadu Blood, and I'm also using the IG 2000 just to kind of throw that in there and throw people off a bit and stuff. And it's people are kind of, and I don't want to sound like I'm bragging anything, but the GP on my ships, because people kind of avoid me at this point, is 467k. So I've kind of got them maxed out now, and I'm really kind of enjoying the bounty hunter ships. I'm having fun.
Yeah, they're good.
Mm-hmm. I do have my
Tarkin. Yeah, he's a replacement for High Advance, kind of like he's kind of just filler. He's decent depth. I don't think he's a meta ship. But Xanadu and Houndstooth are definitely
correct.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I kind of switch out with the 2000 sometimes. So there, it's not that big of a deal, but it kind of throws people off a little bit, I think. But I do have them in reinforcements as kind of like the third one in, so.
All right, we got a couple more here. We got DSP. How great was the Clone Wars month in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? I hated Mace Windu and TW. I absolutely hated that, but it was fun. I guess it was good. Good for the game.
I thought it really sparked my interest anyway in a little bit more in TW.
I just hated it because it was hard. I didn't like it.
It's hard for everyone, though.
I mean, I wish that was the real Mace Windu. I mean, I wish they actually made Mace Windu that good. That would be awesome.
No, you don't wish he was that good. Maybe, like the Grievous. It was cool seeing we faced a guild that put in a pretty clever, capitalizing on that Grievous boost, and that really stumped us in a TW, and it really cost us the match because we just didn't know what to do. Like it's just whoa, Grievous. I mean, if you had him modded for use, his basic attack was doing 50-60k with all that I think it was 300% offense. I think so. I mean, it was cool seeing some characters like that. I mean, if that's the rework everybody had been wanting for 2 years, that's kind of disappointing. But I hope that doesn't count. We got one more here. Travis Anderson. Is there a meta quality team with C-3PO that can compete with a strong Revan team?
I think we're looking at it with that with that Finn team. I mean, again, I don't think my version of it is the best, but I think that if you mess around with that a little bit, put the right components together, the right mods on that team, I think that could be a real contender.
Yeah, if you make it's a little makeshift team, but I think Ray is going to also offer some use, perhaps fairly consistently beating some Revan teams. Now, if you've got the 320, 330 Revans plus the speed bonus, that could be tough to get your BB-8 and R2 that fast, but it's achievable. It's a lot easier than trying to match Revan for Revan, or try it's a lot easier than that. So
you got another droid to put on the team too, so it makes it closes the gap a bit.
Yeah, that Ray Jedi training droid team is really good. And I mean, what do you think about L3 being on that team?
That's it's good. L3 could almost take the place of R2D2, I guess, because that's R2D2 gives your cleanse when you crit. So I mean, you would have L3 to cleanse it. It could be, man, and that would be a interesting option.
What about Ray Jedi training? C-3PO, R2D2, BB-8, and L3.
Well, that's Zeta, especially if you got the Zeta on L3. So definitely a cool option. I got that Zeta. I want to try that out. That might be the ticket. I got so, like we talked about a little bit before the stream. L3 goes. I have like 5 teams L3 could feasibly go on. They're gonna add a 6th into the mix.
I've tried a similar team. I haven't tried that with 3PO, but I tried it with Eat the Damage. Actually, Imperial Probe Droid in there, but I think mine has to be. I don't think I have the health, the Gear 12 health piece on her, and I don't have any of the right side pieces. But someone who does, I think that could be. She could live through Mark. Do have to somebody has to take the brunt of the abuse in the team. So, and she's tanky, but not sacrificial lamb.
That is all the questions on my list here.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that we were going to call it a stream here. It's almost 3 a.m. Eastern time, and we are at the end here. I don't see any deployment lists. I just deploy anywhere.
That what?
I don't see any deployment sheets. I'm just deploying anywhere that we still need.
No, not in Phase 4. You can pretty much deploy anywhere you want in Phase 4.
Right. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go.
And I'm so proud of you that I don't have to tag you tonight.
So I will deploy here.
Stream ran long. You had time to do some extracurricular activities like TV.
I'm amazed I don't have to tag him.
So that's
I'm sitting
good.
here talking junk and I still need to do mine. Okay.
Look good to me. Yep, there we go.
But yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up here. I appreciate everybody staying with us late into the night, talking some C-3PO. Again, this is still pretty early in the C-3PO timeline here. So again, we're just looking at some teams that we think are viable for the moment. I'll put out that top 5 in a couple of days during the week, so you guys can see it, and you don't have to go through the whole stream to watch it. And if anybody wants to join any of the wonderful panel here's streams or content during the week, you can definitely check out the Galaxy's Edge live stream on Tuesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Operation Metaverse channel. So definitely go check that out. That's good old Maurice and TMoney's channel there, and they have a lot of great content. They release a video every week with the live show, and everybody that watches the live show gets exclusive viewing of that video first. So you should definitely check that out. And I'll be on the Jedi Academy show next week as well, and I know I've been saying this for a little bit, but I do have some videos that I worked on with Ranger that I'm still chopping up right now. I'll probably have those out over the next couple of days, 2 character reviews that we did together, so that's going to be awesome. And I will also work on trying to put together a C-3PO video for you guys with some interesting compositions as I get C-3PO geared up a little bit better. Right now, he's only at Gear 9. I'd like to have him at least at Gear 10 to really give you guys a better idea of what he can look like in the meta. Gear 11 would even be nicer, to be honest with you, but I'll see, how I do with the gear over the next few days. Hopefully, I get some good rewards from the raids, etc., and we'll see what happens with that. But we will be back next week with the Alliance live show number 78, so stay tuned for that. But until then, if you guys want any Alliance content, you can go check us out at thealliancegaming.com. There's tons of other content providers that post their content there, and that's www.thealliancegaming.com. If you're looking for a guild in the Alliance, we have a home for you. Any type of play style that you have, there's links in the website of thealliancegaming.com to that, and also in the description of this video you can find a link to my Discord for my channel, where you can get notifications every time we go live or I post a video. So again, I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. May the Force be with you, and we will see you guys on the next one. Later, guys.